Mama. All right. This is just a very quick video. Listen up. This is how you use CBD for anxiety. Now, anxiety, I think I hear about from my customers more than anything else. We have a bunch of clients that subscribe just for anxiety, and this is all they use. I've gotten mamas off of Wellbutrin, Lyrica, Zoloft. Lyrica is more like fibromyalgia, but it goes along with the whole thing. That was an anxiety client. Lexapro. I'm sure there are others, but those Paxil. So anyway, how do we do this? What needs to happen? Well, I'll tell you, you're going to start with a quarter dropper full, generally for anxiety. Hopefully you can hear me with the baby crying. I've got a 8-year-old boy taking care of her. All right. Generally, I think to start, if you have moderate to severe anxiety, you want to start with 1,000 milligrams, and you're going to take that, usually if it's pretty severe, you're going to take it 6 times a day. You're going to take it, 3 times a day, 2 dropperfuls each time. And what happens is you don't develop a tolerance. You can't overdose. There's no whatever. But you slowly work up under your tongue for 30 seconds, quarter dropperful. And as you get your body used to it, what actually happens is you lower your dose. And eventually you'll only need a maintenance dose of 1 to 2 dropperfuls per day. Okay? Now, if it's very severe or you just want to be more cost effective, you use the 1,500. This is more cost effective for you, but also it's a higher concentration. And the higher your dose hits you, the higher the dose, it hits you harder and you absorb exponentially more. That's what studies show. Okay. So if you take a nice high dose that's highly concentrated, your absorbency is 2-3 times higher, not just the amount more you took. So having a nice high concentration that you can take a big hit right away, that's going to go right in your system, work really well. It takes about 20 minutes. Well, no, if you put it under your tongue, you're going to feel almost an instant response. And then about 20 or 30 minutes later, you're going to start feeling, it's all very subtle, but you're going to start feeling a relief. You're going to start feeling a relaxation, and it's not sedative. So you don't feel like, what you feel is you just notice you're better. You just notice my mind's not rumbling away at itself. My body has calmed down. The panic is gone. Anyway, so you want to use these. If you were using this one, it's about 4 dropperfuls a day. Now, this is for very severe anxiety. This is for people who might be getting off of medicines. This is for people who are struggling to function. If you feel you have mild to moderate anxiety, 500 for mild, 500 is your jam, and that's going to be great for you because you're going to take this 2 or 3 times a day, and you're going to, at max, and you're going to notice as what your body does, it actually balances your homeostasis systems, your physiology, your nervous system, all of this. Sleep and wake, so you'll sleep better and you'll sleep more restfully. All of these things come together to help you so that you are less anxious overall, so that you aren't in that physiological arousal that causes a high threshold of nervous system activity, so that when you get just that little bit of stress, you bump right over and now you're in panic. All right, so now you don't need as much. Okay, so 500 is great for mild to moderate. 750, moderate anxiety, 2 to 3 times a day, should take care of it. Give it a week, give it 2 weeks to start to calm down that physiology. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's panic, OCD, generalized anxiety disorder. It doesn't matter if you have phobias, all of these things. Over the next couple weeks from taking it, I'd say you start at a high dose. And now people who are very severe anxiety, especially those who've been on antidepressants a long time and are coming off, that is a very big deal because your body then rebounds and has withdrawal issues that cause way more anxiety than maybe you even did originally. So those people may need to stay on this for 6 months to a year. If you have never been on an antidepressant, it may just be 2 or 3 months. And then you start to taper it down. You take away a dropperful a day. And you may notice, I'm fine. And then you may forget to take it one day and you notice, I'm fine. Don't think that it wasn't the CBD helping you. It was. It does that, but it's very subtle. This isn't it's not a medicine. So you don't feel this instant difference. It's a balancing, but it is very effective, very effective. All right. Now, if you're worried, your life is stressful and you just think, oh, you know what? I know I'm going into a stressful time. I don't have anxiety, but I just feel like I need a little extra oomph. $40, 15% off for your first order to just give that little extra support. In fact, this is a $250. Okay. This is your way in. You want to try it. You don't have a lot of money right now. You don't know it's worth it, whatever. This is your way in. It's so good for you to have that daily bump of CBD, and it's enough. You'll feel the effects. It will relieve the stress. It will, even if you have autoimmune disease, you'll notice it's sort of slowly tampering down, dimming down is the feeling of those symptoms that you have. So you have very mild or no anxiety. I would say this is really for someone who has no anxiety, but then realizes, my mom died. I don't know. Big things, job, stress, you're going into that situation that could trigger some anxiety. Why don't you prevent it? Why don't you get a $250? Take it every day, 1, 2, 3 dropperfuls a day. And it should last about a month using it that way and prevent that imbalance from occurring. Okay, so those are your basics. Now, if you've ever taken Xanax or if you Valerian, there are things, Comfort is the homeopathic version. So many things you could take in the moment when you're feeling like, you can also use this. So if it's a very severe panic attack, like you can't function, you may need to get the 1500 and take a full 4 dropperfuls in that moment. Maybe 5, maybe 6. Now, for most people with moderate anxiety, 1 to 3 dropperfuls should do it. Okay, of 1,000. Or maybe 4 of 500. Like if you're just a little bit more in a panic mode, or you feel your physiology's, up, like you've got you're breathing too fast, your heart's racing, like 4 dropperfuls of 500, or 1 to 3 of 1,000, or 1 of 1,500 will do it. So these are the things you might need to do while the CBD balances you. So that daily dose is super important. You want to overcome a chronic issue. You need your daily dose. Got it? You need it. You have to find it. It's different for everyone. Now, I said these super high amounts because it's safe. You work up to it. You should start with a quarter dropperful 3 times a day maybe, and then add a quarter dropperful to each of those doses until you're up to the amounts I said, depending on the severity of your problem. However, while you're doing that, while you're working up and balancing your system, which is so important, you may need to take as needed. And that's fine. You could do that. You want to get used to a dose, but you may need to take as needed. And then this is the other thing. As you're working up to those higher amounts I mentioned, some people don't need a lot. In fact, there are functional medicine doctors now testing some of my customers. And the ones that really needed a lot were told, wow, your body needs a lot of CBD. And she had figured that out on her own. And then another one hadn't quite figured it out. And this is actually for a 9-year-old with mast cell issues. And she wasn't functioning. She wasn't able to do sports, and she wasn't able to do these things. They figured out she just needs a few drops of CBD a day and her life has changed. So you need to keep that in mind. Some people need a little, some need a lot. I'll give you one more example of that really quick and then I'm done. But I hope this has been really informational for you and told you how to use this. It does work. We've had tons of success. We have tons of subscribers. They subscribe because it works and it's all they need to be okay. Now listen, I had a woman who had a migraine so severe. She uses our CBD. It's the only thing that's ever worked for her migraines. She only needs 2 dropperfuls a day of the 1,000 and she's good. She ran out. She ended up in the ER. She was in so much pain and they're using opioids and narcotics and whatever else they use there. She is not okay. That did not help. It just got her through. She got home. She had texted me from the ER. I overnighted the oil to her. She took her 2 dropperfuls or whatever. It's fine the next day, right? So all of this heavy meds, they didn't work, but just 2 dropperfuls of CBD. Now I get migraines and I have other customers who get migraines and I need 6 dropperfuls, sometimes 8 for a migraine that would never send me to the ER. I would never go to the ER. Mine's treatable by other things, but for some reason, my physiology, I need for those migraines 8 dropperfuls. So unless I catch it really early, if I catch it early, I can sometimes do 2. But anyhow, you see what I'm saying? I mean, she was in the middle of a horrible one, 2 days long, and she could take 2 and be done. So It's different based on your genetics, we've learned. We're just beginning this field. So play with it. Be aware if it's not working at 1 dropper full, you could be the one who needs 6. And that's okay, because in the end, most of this stuff comes down. I don't get migraines nearly as often as I used to. Thank goodness. I think it's balancing my histamine issues. I don't exactly know, but you don't need to know. You need to know it works. All right? So this video is for you, Mama. Think about it. For your family, what they need, what you need. Always feel free to message me. I'm happy to work through this stuff person to person. All right. You have a great day, Mama. God bless you.